Yeah, hey dudes, back with another video, and as you guys will know, I will go through my round 17 predictions and tips, but before then, of course, let's go through the round that just happened, round 16. So I'm very, very excited about this round, but yeah, I'll go through what happened last round just beforehand, and first game of the round was Brisbane versus Western Bulldogs on the Thursday night. Yeah, it was a good win by Brisbane. They silenced their critics after their big loss to Melbourne. And yeah, they won that game quite comfortably. But did get a couple of injuries in it though. My big call was for Lachie Neale to get 110 plus fantasy points. Yeah, that did happen. He got like 130 or something. He was very, very good as my captain. And next was Carlton versus St Kilda on the Friday night, and well, St Kilda also silenced their critics here with a huge win over one of the premiership fancies in Carlton, and boost their chances for finals. The Saints, they've got a couple home games coming up. They can maybe pull off some big wins, and well, I think their tools really got the job done for them. And well, my big call was for Curnow Mackay to be too much and combine for 7 or more goals. I think they combined for 3. So St Kilda's defence held up well. And then the first game on the Saturday, what a thriller it was, and what a comeback by the Bombers by being down by that much, but coming back and winning the game. And again, another Essendon versus Sydney thriller. I wasn't watching this game, but it did look like it was a good game. Yeah, they got a great comeback. I think they were down by like 25, 26 points at one stage in the game. My big call is for the Swans to come back from half time and win, but that was what the Bombers did, surprisingly. I was not expecting that. Then we got Adelaide versus Melbourne, and yeah, this was a pretty easy win for Melbourne. They got it quite comfortably in the end, but mind you, Adelaide did challenge them for about 3/4 and a bit of that game, but the last quarter was quite easily favoured to Melbourne. My big call was for Tex Walker to kick 4 or more goals, and he managed to kick 2. So yeah, it didn't happen. And the first game on the Saturday night was Geelong versus North Melbourne. And of course, Geelong won. They're pretty annoying, and they won the game. I tipped them by 100. They won it by 112, so it was very, very close. My big call was for Geelong to score the highest score of the year, being 162 or more. That was a fail. They scored 144, which I believe is the second highest score of the year, which is still pretty good. And then the other game on the Saturday night was a thriller between the Suns and the Pies. Both had injury carnages in that last term, but Collingwood came back, composed themselves, and won a game that they probably shouldn't have won. And my big calls for a total of 25 or more goals are scored. And, well, that probably could have happened if these two teams kicked straight. But no, they combined for, I think the total was 27 points and 17 goals. So, yeah, very, very inaccurate. And the first game on the Sunday was Richmond versus West Coast. I tipped Richmond by 35 and they got it by 35. So, let's go. I get a bonus point. Second time this season I get a bonus point. So, yeah, I'm happy about that. My big call was for Tigers to collect 55 originally, but I changed it to 75 just because I thought that'd be a little bit too easy. But yeah, they got that done. And then in a pouring wet rain in sloppy conditions, and this isn't the first time these two teams have met in sloppy conditions. They played up at the Manuka Oval when it was snowing about round 19 or 20 in the 2019 season. I think it was 2019, but this was just as bad, really, pouring wet conditions, and I tipped Giants to smash, and the Giants only won it by 22. They probably could have won it by a bit more. My big calls for Himmelberg to collect 35 or more disposals, and he did not do that. And last game of the round was a pretty good game. I didn't watch it though. Fremantle versus Port Adelaide. Fremantle managed to survive a late scare from Port Adelaide and hold off a bit of an injury run of Port Adelaide as well, because they got some injuries in that game that I'll speak about a little bit later. My big call was for Freo to kick 5 3-quarter goals, and they kicked 4, so it didn't happen. Much better week this week. I got 6 out of 9 for my tips. I'm happy with that. I'll take it. 2 out of 9 for my big calls. Not exactly great, but I'll have to try a bit better next week, and I get a bonus point because I got the tip of Richmond West Coast correct. And it's just the second time this season that's happened. Also managed to get Adelaide versus Brisbane correct, with the 36 being the margin. So first game of the round. I'm very, very excited for this round of footy. So it's Thursday night footy at GMBA. Melbourne taking on the Cats at GMBA. And this is going to be the prelim final rematch, and also the rematch of the last round of the season, where Melbourne kicked that goal after the siren thanks to Maxi Gawn. And Maxi Gawn will be back for this clash. Simon Goodwin has confirmed that he'll be back, which does make it a little bit harder for Geelong, but they're in amazing form, Geelong. I think they've won their last 5 on the trot now. They're up there with Collingwood with the best form of the competition. Jeremy Cameron and Hawkins are just kicking goals. Their midfield's going great. They had some defensive injury issues slash suspension issues, obviously, with Tom Stewart, but they seem to be doing okay back there. Though they did nearly cough up that game to Richmond. But yeah, any game against North was a pretty easy win, and yeah, I think they should be back in this game maybe. And then of course you got Melbourne, who I think they probably need the win just as much as Geelong, even though they are first on the ladder. They probably really want to get a big win over a big team to silence their critics that still don't really believe in them. But they did beat Brisbane. They're in a bit more form now. Christian Petracca probably picked up the 3 votes on Saturday. He was very, very good. And Viney is having a good comeback from the season. He's starting to get some disposals under his belt and maybe even some votes. Angus Brayshaw's just been having a superb season, moving back to defence off the wing, and allows Jordan and Langdon to play on the wing. And yeah, Melbourne have got everything going their way. They had a pretty good game against Adelaide. It wasn't amazing, but it was pretty good. I still just don't really know who to tip here. I mean, it's a bit of a toss of the coin. It's 50-50 really. But I'm going to tip Melbourne by 7 points. And my big call, D's come back after the 3-quarter time siren and win the game. So I reckon Geelong will probably have the lead for most of this game. Next game on the Friday night is Sydney versus Western Bulldogs. Rematch of the thriller that happened in round 3 when the Dogs just got up. But this time it'll be at the SCG, a bit tougher. And Sydney, well, they're coming off a very, very inaccurate and sloppy performance against Essendon. I don't know what happened in that 4th quarter. Late, they just gave up. And all Essendon speedsters just kept on getting the football, racking them up. Nick Hind had a huge game in defence and kicked the match-winning goal. I don't know what happened to Sydney, but they just definitely need a response. People just blaming on their inaccuracy, but I think they needed to get some more players into the game. Callum Mills had a pretty quiet game. Luke Parker was good in the first half, wasn't really amazing in the second half. And Buddy Franklin didn't really do too much, and their forwards weren't really amazing. They did manage to score big, but I can't believe they've lost to a team that lost to West Coast the week before Sydney. They need a response. They now sit 8th, I think, on the ladder. So this is a must-win game for them. And the Dogs, they sit 10th on the ladder, and they're a win behind St Kilda, Sydney and Richmond. So they definitely need the win. This is their last chance, Western Bulldogs. They have to win. They are in a bit of form though. Even though last week was a bit of a bad game against the Lions. Though Liberatore, he is in ripping form. Probably picked up the 3 votes in these last 2 games. Well, probably picked up a vote last week. He was absolutely superb. Kicked a ripping goal. I really feel bad for the people that have to pick the contenders for goal of the year, because I reckon there's like a good 5 or 6 of them that could have been in this week. There was some good goals this last round, and I reckon this round Liberatore is going to have a big game for the Dogs to win. I reckon Sydney will try and put someone on him. I reckon they know about his form. I mean, Liberatore is the one that connects everything. You got Treloar and McRae who rack him up. You got McRae. You got Bontempelli, who's the big key midfielder cog and forward. And then you got Josh Dunkley and Bailey Smith that can hit the scoreboard. Obviously, Bailey Smith hasn't been here, but Liberatore is hitting the scoreboard as well. He's been playing amazing football. I can nearly see an upset here from the Dogs. They're going to come out firing. They need the win. I reckon Sydney will win this game by a thriller by 2 points. My big call, Sydney kick 5 or more behinds than goals. They were very inaccurate against the Bombers. I predict them to be inaccurate, but their inaccuracy doesn't cost them. I can't really want to go with a Liberatore big call. I really think John Longmire will put someone on him. And then the first game on the Saturday, I may be going to this, fingers crossed, with a couple of my friends. It's Collingwood versus North Melbourne. Collingwood, superb win. Superb comeback win over Gold Coast. I don't think we've really had a game where we've been down by three goals. It wasn't 3 goals. It was like 13 points with 7-8 minutes to go. Came back, won the game, thanks to Will Hoskin-Elliott. And yeah, really good game. Was it costly though with Darcy Moore out? Probably for the season. Hopefully not for the rest of next season as well. I mean, he'll probably miss a good chunk of it. But hopefully he does not miss too much. Fingers crossed, because we need him. But I know the AFL apps released stuff saying that Collingwood will play finals now. It's pretty hard to stop them because they only need 3 wins, and North and Essendon are pretty easy wins. Well, hopefully we can beat Essendon because they've been playing some decent footy if you exclude the West Coast game. And then we've got Port Adelaide who have injury carnages, so hopefully we can get the 3 wins there and get 13 wins and play finals. Come on, the boys. But yeah, North Melbourne, there's nothing really to say about them except maybe Aiden Core. Very costly free kick, but doesn't really matter anyway. Very silly. I reckon Collingwood win this game by 70 points. Stufford will win big for the first time this season. And my big call, Pies kick 4 last quarter goals. Next game is the Gold Coast Suns taking on the Tigers at Metricon. Any team that goes to Metricon is in trouble. And I actually can't believe without Jeremy Howe we managed to beat them there after Gold Coast bet Fremantle and Carlton there. We are obviously a better team than Carlton and Fremantle at that ground. Well, I mean, it was raining when Fremantle went up there. And Gold Coast were just the better team up there in the rain. And this game, I reckon it'll be another thriller for Gold Coast. Their season's already over. Richmond have more to play for. Although Dustin Martin is out with a hamstring, I still think they'll win this game. But the Gold Coast Suns also have Buderick out with an ACL, his second ACL. Really feel bad for the guy. Really unfortunate news coming out of the Suns camp. I think Braden Ainsworth's going to be okay. I reckon Tigers win this game by 5 points in a thriller. And Marby Ochol against his former team, I reckon they'll keep him very quiet. A big call, Lynch and Rewalt combined for 7 goals. And then the game that's going to be on TV is St Kilda versus Fremantle. Now, I could see upsets happening here with the Gold Coast and the Bulldogs and the Geelong and everything. But I haven't been brave enough to tip the upset. But St Kilda fans may be a little bit happy here. Fremantle, let's talk about their form. They haven't really been doing it convincingly. Like, they're still getting wins, but it hasn't been convincingly. Their percentage, they actually lost percentage in that win against Port Adelaide. So that's pretty concerning for them. Their percentage is key to making top two if they've got the chance. I don't know if they can make it though. But I reckon if they win this game, they're probably a top four lock. Which is pretty unfortunate because Collingwood, we know they're trying to get the top four. I don't think we can though. But St Kilda have silenced their critics with a massive win over Carlton. Tim Membry was absolutely superb. Steele and Sinclair racked them up off halfback and in the midfield. Bradley Hill was good early. I reckon they should win this game not quite comfortably. I reckon they'll kind of choke a lead. But against Fremantle, they don't play well at Marvel. St Kilda by 8, they're going to choke a lead, but that's not going to be my big call. My big call is Saints win the disposal count by 50 or more in a dominant display by the Saints. They could have won this by 40 plus, I reckon, but they choked the lead. Port Adelaide versus GWS is the other game on the night. Could be a good one to watch if you're a Port Adelaide fan because they're in some good form. Apart from the Fremantle loss, I don't think they can play finals now. That will rule them out. They still want to make finals, but I reckon they've been ruled out for season 2022, unfortunately for them, and because they'll probably get this win here. And GWS, they didn't quite win it convincingly over Hawthorn in the rain, but yeah, this interim coach has done pretty well, Mark McVeigh, because they've been competitive against the Dogs, Pies and Lions, all top eight teams. Well, Dogs aren't a top 8 team. They probably should be. But with their run home, they just can't get in there. Port Adelaide by 33 points in this game. I reckon they'll win it quite comfortably, even though Houston and Dersma could be tests to play this game. And obviously, we'll see a big out with Lockie Jones, the rising star nominee from last round, being out with a hamstring probably for 2 to 3 weeks. My big call, Wines collects 30 or more disposals. And then first game on the Sunday, Brisbane versus Essendon. Brisbane got the job quite easily done over the Dogs. The Dogs weren't really great. I mean, they probably won the game from those last 2 quarters and a chunk of the second term there, Brisbane, because the Dogs, they were in the game in the first quarter and a little bit into the second, but just couldn't really get the win. And Essendon, what a win that was. Huge boil over at the G. Massive win. Their Spencers just got onto the ball too much. Nick Hyde was absolutely superb for the Bombers. Jake Stringer was probably the difference in the end, kicking 2 free last quarter goals. I listened to his interview at the end of the game. I didn't really watch any of this game. I listened to the last 2 minutes of it, and I listened to Jakey Stringer's interview he had with the KO people that run KO, and of course Brisbane had some injuries as well. Dane Zorko was ruled out immediately with that hamstring, and Fages has said that he's been training well, and probably Rob Vlogs will probably take his spot. I reckon he'll be gone for another 2, 3, maybe even 4 if they don't want to risk him. And Daniel Rich with a hamstring. I don't think it's as serious, but he could be gone for at least a week or 2. But Kadeem Coleman, let's talk about his game. He was absolutely superb in the second half. As soon as Rich went out, Kadeem Coleman was the man back there, and we finally got to see the breakout game that we thought we were going to see. Fags keeps on saying that. The reason why I know this is because I watch Rob Vlogs, the YouTube channel, and obviously Fags keeps on saying that Kadeem Coleman is going to have a breakout season. Haven't really seen it yet, but this was a breakout game from him. Maybe it can really spark something for Brisbane because he can go into the middle too. And Jared Barry really stepped up. He gets a bit of a shout out. He was pretty good when Zorko went out. Lions by 55. Sorry, Essendon fans. I know you're in some good form, but it's only because it's at the Gabba. The Gabba is a fortress. They win every game there by 50 or more points. And if it's a top 8 team, then it's maybe like 20 points. Mind you, Collingwood only lost to them by 7. But big call. Brisbane win the tackle count by 35 or more. Sorry again, Essendon fans. Whenever you get smashed, you lose the tackle count by a lot. Hawthorn versus Adelaide, and weird game to really put on for a Sunday game. Another Hawthorn game. I don't think they really deserve it. They're actually in the bottom four. I think we've been expecting too much from them, and yeah, we thought they've been had a breakout season. Yeah, they have. They've definitely lifted, but at this point of the season, they haven't really done much more than what they did last year. I think they've had 4 wins for the season, and that was 2 against Brisbane and Geelong, and the other 2 against, I think, easy teams in North and no, they haven't played West Coast yet. Scratch that. But we haven't really seen an amazing game from Hawthorn in a while. And I reckon this game could be the game. And Adelaide, I know they had a really good game against the D's, and they were in the game as well. The round before, I can't really remember who they played. No, they played North Melbourne. I can see Adelaide being back though. They got some players in, and Fogarty's starting to combine well with Tex. It's going well for Adelaide. Hawthorn are going to win this game though by 18 points, but Adelaide are definitely improving. The only reason why I reckon this will be a thrilling game for 3 quarters, but the first quarter Hawks kick 4 or more first quarter goals, and that's where the game's won. And then the last game of the round could be an unexpected thriller, and I'm going to go for a thriller. West Coast versus Carlton, 4:10 or 4:40 at Optus Stadium. Could be a good game to watch. Carlton are in some pretty poor form. Jacob Weitering, though, should be back, so the Blues should probably get up in this game. But West Coast are in some good form. They nearly beat Richmond at the G. Managed to score 93. I think that's their second highest score this season. So well done to them. Not easy against a really good defence in Richmond. They are definitely improving. And without JK, if JK was playing, it would have been much closer. JK would be playing in this game. So good thing they get Wiedering back, because West Coast forward line's starting to score, and they've got Nick Nat back. And yeah, West Coast are playing a lot better, and Carlton definitely aren't. I reckon this will be a thriller, but Carlton win the game by 11 points. My big call, Eagles kicked 6 last quarter goals. So I reckon Carlton are up by a lot, and then West Coast come back and nearly take the lead from them. But yeah, thanks for watching this tipping video, and also I want to say that I've stopped weekly vlogs. I'm not doing one this week and next week, but they will return soon. And also, maybe later in the week, expect a top 10 videos of my favourite games from late 2014 to the present. Well, really from last round, because I haven't really been able to put any from this round, but I don't think any would really get in for it. So yeah, thanks for watching this tipping video. Stay tuned for my tipping video next week. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.